so many Colossi with extended thermal lance, you could send 50 Zealots in, and there'll still be a critical number of Colossi where they would all evaporate before a single Colossus goes down. So, Hero, with his additional Zealot count, I'd like to see him later on in the game transition as soon as conveniently possible to get charge on those Zealots, because otherwise the extra supply he has right now, which is basically about a 15 to 20 supply lead, he's not going to be able to use that effectively because those Zealots just aren't doing anything for his army.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, it's a two-base situation. They're both around 44 workers. Hero's trying to find a hole here, but he's got to be careful. He's very big clump here with his army, and Seed had a better spread, has more Colossus because he's in the defense here. And in the meantime, Seed is going to send in one Zealot. It's going to get taken out, no problem. But he does know that Hero has the intention to take another base here. He saw that probe. A little bit of a drop here. There is Speed Prism evolved for Hero, so it's no problem for him to get out of this pronto. Nice little bit of damage that he's doing, taking down some Stalkers maybe, taking down some Pylons, denying some mining. And now Seed is sending back a couple of Colossus. Now we see how bad slow Zealots are against Colossi.
Yeah.
Normally this could be like a super cool moment where he catches Seed off guard, who now has 7 workers in this gas, but because he didn't have charge, he was unable to pounce like he might want.
Exactly. In theory, that looked like such a good engagement on paper. Pulling away 2 of those Colossi so that he evens out the Colossus count and then moves into the natural. But all of a sudden, he moved in with those slow Zealots, and they just started disappearing. And it's like, hold on a second, these guys aren't having the tanking effect I really would have had, and my opponent's going to have time to get into a good defensive concave. So this isn't really what I wanted. So both sides now pulling back from that engagement. The supply is actually more or less even now, 140 to 145, and we can see both of our players here going for their third bases.
Yeah, third bases, but this is not going to be a massive macro game. Usually when we see games like these, they're not even going to be making that much probes. If it's like a super fast third, we often see like 60, 70 probes in PvP. But look at this, they're both at 40 probes or so, and even though they're going for a third, they're not going to be making any more because they know at any time here we could be maxing out at 200 supply, and they want to have a big army. Sometimes one fight is all it gets down to, and they just want to have as much effective army supply in that 200 supply composition as possible.
And an interesting difference of opinion as well, we can see Seed now. Seed's actually the one that just finished Zealot Charge, Grubby, and we actually have Liquid.HerO going straight up to that Templar Archives. I wonder how that's going to play out over that next engagement. So HerO possibly the one we were expecting to try and get that Zealot Charge up because he just had so much as far as those Zealot numbers were concerned. And now it's Seed doing it.
Yeah, that's true. And HerO, I don't think he even used this Twilight at all, except for the upgrade. Kind of interesting, deciding that that's not what he needs to get. And if, in fact, his Zealots are already down to 14, whereas Seed is at 18 right now. Seed has earlier Archons, he has a bit more Zealots, he has Charge earlier. The second attack upgrade is more or less equal. And I think Seed is on 1 Robo Colossus. Whereas HerO is on 2 Robo Colossus, and that is why HerO will soon be at 11 Colossi against against 9 Colossi.
So that means instead of our screen erupting in orange laser beams, Grubby, it's going to erupt in orange laser beams. Because that many Colossi on the field, an extra 1 or 2, your eyes are not going to physically register the difference. We're going to see some War of the Worlds action coming on here in just a little bit. And HerO looking like he is posturing outside the third base there, picking off that observer so that Seed doesn't know the exact timing of this attack, and simultaneously moving a War Prism into the natural. Good move there.
Yeah, and I think HerO's going to try to attack at the 2 places at once. He's going to warp in like 6 Zealots here while dropping the rest of his payload of his cargo, and then maybe going in for a kill move at the third. Now, the way that these positions work out, it can work for Seed, but it can also work against him, because the Nexus is like this big blocker, basically, for him to effectively spread his army. He's going to have some army here, he's going to have some army here, and everything that's here is going to get rather clumped. So he needs to be smart about how he spreads himself out here, and he cannot afford to 1A to his natural when there's this big warp in from HerO, potentially. But yeah, that window is kind of passing for HerO. HerO is now, interestingly enough, making a Dark Shrine, and there's no cannon defense for Seed here, so he's probably going to warp in some DTs here. There we go, 1 DT. And there comes another one.
Back up into the War Prism and head into the natural and ask Seed what he's going to do about it. And I like that as well because...
hey, Seed has no observers.
Yes, the observer was sniped off in the middle of the map about 2 minutes ago, right there. So this could turn out to be really, really good for HerO. So using the fact that he had destroyed that observer to take the opportunity to send some DTs in. Let's find out how Seed reacts. This could be an ingenious move here from Liquid.HerO, and the DTs get to work at the natural. What can Seed do?
There we go with the observer coming out. Seed is now in very big trouble. There's going to be DTs everywhere, and one observer is not going to be able to deal with that. Even when it comes out,
oh my
one sentry is not going to beat a DT and an Immortal. This is just terrible for Seed. He has to try and take this fight because his economy is going to take a huge hit, but he doesn't like the positioning, and I don't disagree with him at all. This attack upgrade is going to get finished. There's DTs here, there's DTs everywhere. HerO doing a beautiful job of getting this late DT tech switch, seeing the opportunity, and now, yes, he does not need to fight here. He can make more DTs at home.
Oh, the Colossi getting clumped up there, and almost 2 of them going down, effectively 1 and 1.8. Oh no, 2 of them, never mind. Let's not bother rounding Grubby, because that one goes down as well. But the natural expansion is going down. Seed's only hope now is to win with this counterattack, because the DTs are just too much. Not even focusing the probes, just going for the next size straight up here as Seed moves into the third base. HerO actually sacrificing the third base. He knows if he survives here, he can win, because he'll basically be leaving Seed without a nexus on the map. Only the one in the main base is left, and those TTs are just doing so much damage.
And HerO is about to finish third attack upgrade, but it's not going to take that long. Seed has to move in here, good position or not. HerO has a beautiful spread here, and he's going to focus down those Colossus so fast. And yeah, this fight is going to go very one-sided. GG by Seed. Alright, so Daybreak often kind of plays out the same way as Cloud Kingdom. It can, at least.
Right.
Into just like what we saw the last game, more or less. But of course the openings were a little bit unconventional. Seed was gonna go for, was doing that very quick Colossus attack, and HerO, I think, pleased with the fact that he had a lot of Immortals. He handled that very nicely, cancelled the expand, and got the early lead. HerO basically never was behind in that game once. He was never at a point where we said Seed has a distinct advantage in any particular area whatsoever.
Yeah, because Seed tried to go for that really, really quick Colossus push, and HerO just had such good positioning on the top of his round after he cancelled his Nexus that there was no way for Seed to go up. So he was always playing catch-up, and maybe there was a point where he was almost on level terms with HerO.
Yeah, exactly.
But then just HerO didn't engage where he didn't think it was super favorable to him, and then when he had the opportunity with the DTs, he just seized the game with both hands. So really good, really patient play from HerO, and you don't often expect that from someone who has a history of nerve issues or gets really excited. Like you mentioned, you stick a heart rate monitor on the guy right now, and all our computers would crash, right?
Yeah.
This guy is like super emotional and really gets affected by the games he's playing. So for him to come off a win like that, he now needs to calm himself down and play his normal game against Seed now. He can't afford to get carried away and try some crazy stuff that may or may not work. It's just not necessary to take that risk.
Yeah, then it's going to suddenly get to a head in the third game. You're going to be 1-1. It's suddenly a best of 1 PvP, and that can get so scary if your opponent chooses to play in some kind of crazy way.
Yeah, so the solution is all PvP should be best of 31.
Dude, do you know I made that suggestion? Any tournament, it's like I actually thought of that. Like any best of 3 tournament, if PvP meets, it should be best of 11.
What about ZVZ?
I don't care about that.
No. And TVT should be best of 1 in case it lasts an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Got it.
On Steps of War. All right. So
Novice Steps of War.
Not Steps of War?
Yeah. No, Novice Steps of War.
Oh, Novice Steps.
Yeah, right, man. With the destructible rocks. It's got to be done.
All right. So what are we going to be seeing from these guys here? Seed, he already took out Creator 2-0.
Yeah, really, really strong play there.
Did you happen to see those games?
I know the result, but I didn't actually see those games, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Creator, a lot of people were actually tipping him to be like the dark horse to win the tournament outright. A lot of people were coming in saying, well, Seed is a pretty good shot. Of course, SKT1 Rain, after his strong performances in both the GSL and the OSL, of course, it's like, well, you can't really count this guy out. He has to be one of the favorites here. But Creator, kind of the guy that some people overlooked, and it's like, well, he can actually show up and do just about anything. But he's gone down to the lower bracket now. So.
Yeah. Yes, he lost to Slayer. Well, he beat Slayer's Mia, but he was indeed down to the lower bracket. Now, if we look at what Seed has seen here, actually what HerO has seen, he has seen that the second pylon of Seed is somewhere on the map. He knows that.
Yeah.
So he also has seen a lot of
whoa!
Wow, okay. He also has seen a lot of Chrono Boost on the Nexus, so I think that HerO is considering that Seed right now is on a Robo Proxy build.
When did Hasuobs get into this game?
Why?
We have the PvP Stargate on Daybreak, so.
Oh well, a lot of Protoss players do that, but I'm just saying that HerO based on the information he has seen, should absolutely be putting SEED on a robo proxy build. And that is why he's going for 4-gate.
Yeah, just to defend against anything that might be coming in.
Yeah, and then he would be ahead, because he's going to be economically ahead because he didn't invest in the robo or the war prism.
Sure.
Now, SEED, I think he exactly intentionally wanted to make it look that way, and he's going to go for Stargate instead. He's going to need sentries because, of course, this works two ways. Heroes is not just going to defend with it, he's also going to attack with it. And that's a nice probe kill, and that makes it so that the first pylon is going to be quite further away. Well, Hero's going to lose. Well, he's going to have to go away with the Stalker. There comes the second probe. Now, SEED, he has to hold this attack with just one gateway against 4.
Oh, that's going to be so unbelievably tough. We need to see some really sick force fields go down for him as well. He needs to really hold the army at bay as long as humanly possible. And if he's able to do that, he might be able to eventually squeeze out some sort of economic lead where he can start getting more units out. But he has to do it super quickly. And Hero's going straight into the main. One pylon in the main and one on the low ground. All the probes being pulled. Is he going to get a second one in? Not quite.
Yep, and this is a great... nice surround there on the Stalker. But this is a great position for Hero to be in. He's basically fighting probes with units. Phoenix are going to be completely useless. Hero is going to win this game.
This is looking so unbelievable. This is just like... Hero has just made this look so easy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't think SEED was expecting this. So... Oh,
what
man.
is
All
this?
of the probes still not mining, trying to get rid of that pylon. But is there a sentry to force field it off? No.
GG.
And GG.
Hero 2-0 in a 7-minute 30